Hey there, team. My name's Brandon Neighbor. Welcome to Three Things. Today, the topic is urgent versus important. Thing number one, most daily messages, emails, conversations, interactions, meetings that you have, all of them seem important, and hopefully all of them are, but not all of them are urgent. So the goal is to decide within seconds where it falls on the urgent versus important scale, and to make fast, high-quality decisions about where to spend your time. So that takes us to thing number two, which is a 2x2 matrix. So this is a 2x2 decision matrix that tells you, one, how to bucket urgent versus important items, and two, what to do about them. So in the top left, you have urgent and important. This is the do it now bucket. So these are things like firefighting or crises you have on a daily basis. These are things like meaningful deadlines you have for projects or meetings coming up. Also urgent customer requests and conversations. Then you've got box number two on the right, top right. This is where it is important but not urgent. So these are things like non-urgent planning and preparations that you need to do, strategic or long-term projects that have a mid or long-term result or benefit you're trying to get, and then relationship building. This is the plan and schedule for later, such that if you do not plan and schedule effectively for later, it will creep up on you such that it becomes urgent at the wrong time because you haven't done the right planning or prep. Box number three is not important but urgent. This is mostly happening when someone else is pushing a deadline upon you that is not your own. You need to do one of two things: either push back on their particular deadline and make sure that you're staying within the comfort zone of putting out the right quality work that you want, or number two, you need to delegate it to someone else that can get it done by that particular time. And then you've got box number four, which is not important and not urgent. So this is busy work, time wasters, where you need to get them off of your calendar, whether they're meetings, or get them out of your inbox, whether they're emails that are not helpful, not important, not urgent. Also, unsubscribe to the projects that are not important and not urgent. So that brings us to thing number three, which is minimizing switching gears. So what does that mean? Switching gears means moving from one topic to another, one headspace to another, or one execution activity to another within a short space of time. You want to minimize switching gears as much as possible throughout the day because it allows for focus. Focus meaning fewer things done better, and I believe with more focus throughout a day, you're able to execute with a higher quality body of work and more efficiently than you would have otherwise. So to minimize switching gears, there's two things that I'm going to give tips on. One is automation, the second one is coaching. First, automation. You need to automate the decision-making process as to whether or not to switch gears or not. And in order to do that, you need to automate the decision-making process about each item that comes across your desk and where that falls into the urgent versus important matrix that we just talked about. So a couple of tips here. One, inbox. So set up rules or labels such that based on who the email or message is to, who it is from, or the keywords in the subject line or in the body of the email, it falls into certain folders. Each one of those folders or each one of those labels is going to attach to or match up with one of the four buckets for urgent versus important, and every single thing that falls into those folders or into those labels will then be executed against within the realm of those four buckets that we just talked about for urgent versus important. So if it goes to a mass distribution list like the entire company, maybe it is not urgent that you read it or do something about it then, but it's important so you do it later. But maybe if it comes from your largest stakeholder or a major customer of yours and it falls into that folder, it then falls into an always important, always urgent category, and you need to do something about it right now. So the next one's around calendar. The frequency you have your meetings should match the frequency in which you have urgent items to collaborate on. So if you have a meeting with stakeholder once a month, but you find you're having several items every 2 weeks that you're executing on because they're urgent and important at those times, you need to increase frequency of meetings. Same thing vice versa. If you have a meeting every 2 weeks and you find that the urgency that you need to execute against the agenda items is on a monthly cadence, decrease the frequency of those meetings. The next one is around meetings. So this sounds simple, but it's not necessarily always intuitive. To have an agenda and make sure that the agenda you're setting, the chronology of how you cover things within that meeting, matches the most urgent things first and the least urgent things last. So have an agenda and finish it is important, but having an agenda and making sure you cover first things first or most urgent things first is equally as important, because if you run out of time or someone needs to go or you're spending more time on one particular topic, at least you're covering the most urgent items first in that case. And the last one is around coaching and clarity. So you're going to have interruptions throughout your day, every single day. You're going to be focusing on things that are urgent and important to you. And then someone else will bring something to your table. Let's say it's someone on your team, a stakeholder, your manager, someone external like a customer. They come to you with something important. It's equally as important to both of you, but you need to assess urgency immediately in that moment. So that, one, you're not just distracting yourself from the topic or execution activity you're doing. You're not switching that gear to a different one if you don't need to. And two, you're able to coach that person on what they should come to you with now versus what they should wait until your next one-on-one or catch-up to talk about. So in that particular instance, what you can do is say something along the lines of, hey, I know this is really important. Is this something we should talk about right now? Or can this wait until our next one-on-one catch-up? Because I want to allocate the right amount of time to it, and I want to answer you appropriately, but my mind is in a different headspace over here, and I don't want to switch gears too much. Over time, your stakeholders, your direct reports, your team members, your manager, they'll know what to come to you with now versus what topics to come to you with in your future meetings, your future one-on-ones. And you can also coach them on how to do that and which items to bring to you. So that's 3 things. That's urgent versus important. I hope you have an awesome day. Until next time, go get it.